I never thought buying a car could change the entire rhythm of my life. But that's exactly what happened, and not in the way I expected. Some folks buy luxury cars to show off. I bought mine to breathe. After years of grinding, years of promising myself that one day I'd own something that made all those sleepless nights worth it, I finally did it. I bought a matte black Aston Martin. Sleek lines, quiet engine that purred instead of roared, the kind of car you don't just drive, you experience. That car wasn't just metal and paint to might was therapy, a trophy, a reminder that I climbed out of the mud and built something. When I parked it in front of my house in this calm, gated neighborhood, I thought I was parking peace of mind. Turns out, peace has an expiration date when people around you can't stand to see you happy. At first, it was subtle. A look from across the street, a mutter I couldn't quite catch when I'd pull into the driveway. I ignored it. Life's too short to count other people's jealous sighs. Then one morning I stepped outside, coffee in hand, and there was this folded paper under my windshield wiper. The handwriting was angry before I even read the words. Your car is a danger to our community. It's intimidating, unsafe for children, and goes against the spirit of our neighborhood. Remove it in 2 weeks or action will be taken. I laughed out loud. I mean, really? A car sitting quietly in my driveway was a menace? This wasn't Fast and Furious. I wasn't racing through stop signs. But I tucked the letter away, even snapped a picture of it, thinking it would make a funny addition to the little folder in my phone I called HOA Clowns. I walked out on a sunny morning ready to take the Aston for a spin, and my stomach dropped. The car looked like it had gone 12 rounds with a demolition crew. Windows smashed, tires slashed, paint gouged as if someone had gone at it with a rake. It wasn't vandalism, it was annihilation. As I stood there frozen, my neighbor, Linda, shuffled over in her robe, eyes wide. She whispered like she was passing state secrets. I saw Marcus out here last night. He was with one of the landscapers that they were around your car. I thought it was odd. Odd. That wasn't odd, that was criminal. But instead of losing my mind, I smiled. See, Marcus, the guy she was talking about, wasn't just any neighbor. He was this self-proclaimed enforcer, the type who wore a neon vest around like it was a badge of honor. He printed himself some shiny badge off the internet and strutted around like the sheriff of suburbia. What Marcus didn't know, though, was that my porch light wasn't just a light. It was also a camera. I pulled up the footage, and there it was, Marcus, hammer in hand, ranting to himself about protecting the neighborhood as he smashed the car like he was auditioning for some cheap action movie. The sight of it, honestly, was both infuriating and pathetic. I called my lawyer right away. His first words when I sent him the clip? This guy thinks he's what, a mall cop? He chuckled, then got serious. Forward this to the police. The repair bill alone is going to hit 6 figures. This isn't neighborhood drama anymore, this is felony territory. But Marcus, in his bizarre world, wasn't about to hide. The very next morning, I heard that knock on my door, the kind of knock that screams fake authority. I opened it, and there he was. Neon vest glowing in the sun, mirrored sunglasses, clipboard in hand. He jabbed a finger at me like I was some delinquent kid. You ignored official directives, he barked. Your car endangered this neighborhood. I have the right to enforce action. Consider yourself fined. I nearly spit my coffee out. Fined? By who? The HOA handbook doesn't even mention cars, and last I checked, you're not law enforcement. His jaw tightened, and he puffed up. I am the law here. If you don't like it, leave. I couldn't resist poking him right back. Funny, because I've got video proof of you committing felony vandalism. So unless you're planning on fining yourself, maybe take that clipboard and march home. For just a flicker of a second, the color drained from his face before he spun around and stormed off. 2 hours later, I was sitting in what they called an emergency HOA meeting. Marcus had apparently dragged the board into this circus. The president, a sharp woman named Veronica, tried to smooth it over. Let's be reasonable. Marcus was acting in the community's best interest. Maybe the damage, no. I cut her off. There's no maybe. He destroyed private property. And you're defending him. One of the quieter board members cleared his throat. Technically, Marcus isn't on the board. He just got volunteers. Volunteers. That was rich. Not only had this wannabe cop destroyed my $230,000 car, but the HOA hadn't even given him permission to act like he was in charge. Right then, I decided on 2 things. Let the cops deal with Marcus, and let my lawyer deal with the HOA. The police didn't waste time. He was charged with vandalism, impersonating an officer, and criminal mischief. That fake badge suddenly looked a whole lot heavier around his neck. When court rolled around, the footage spoke louder than any lawyer could. There he was, slamming his boot into my Aston, ranting about illegal vehicles. The judge leaned back, pinched the bridge of his nose, and finally said, "Sir, not only were you not authorized by this HOA, but you destroyed property worth more than most people's homes. You're looking at prison time." Marcus's attorney tried to spin it, but there was no spin strong enough to untangle that mess. The HOA board didn't even show up to defend him. By then, homeowners had discovered the board had known about Marcus's antics and still let him parade around. Outrage spread like wildfire. Within weeks, a petition dissolved the entire board. As for Marcus, the consequences stacked up like dominoes. Restitution for the car, damages for impersonating authority, legal fees that would bankrupt anyone, let alone a guy who had already been living paycheck to paycheck. He lost his job, his reputation, and eventually, his home. By the time the dust settled, my new Aston Martin gleamed in the driveway, paid for courtesy of court-ordered restitution. Meanwhile, Marcus was reduced to walking past in a faded hoodie, avoiding eye contact, forced to rent a small apartment across town. And every time he passed by, someone would chuckle. "Careful, Marcus might write you a ticket." Now, here's the thing, I didn't have to lift a finger after that. His own arrogance and need for control destroyed him. The HOA was gone, replaced with a homeowners committee that actually listened. My car sat in the driveway, shining under the sun, but more importantly, my peace returned. And yet, I couldn't help but think about the irony. You can wear a vest, flash a badge, even shout like a cop. But if you pick a fight with the wrong person, especially someone who refuses to be bullied, you're going to regret it. Marcus thought he was untouchable. Turns out, all he became was unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. So here's my question to you. Do you think justice was served, or did Marcus get off too easy? If someone destroyed your car out of jealousy or fake authority, would you press charges, or would you handle it another way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear how you deal with a neighbor like Marcus. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who's ever had to deal with a nightmare neighbor. Because sometimes, the best revenge is just living well while they collapse under the weight of their own stupidity.